boy Stevie Jobber. It's your boy Dangerous Dude. The Dangerous Jobbers podcast. Play the one. The boy Stevie Jobber. Dangerous Dude. Stay dangerous.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I'm your boy, Stevie Jobber.
I'm your boy, Dangerous Dude.
And welcome back to the Dangerous Jobbers podcast, put a wrestling over one podcast at a time.
Yes, sir.
And we are here after WrestleMania for the Raw after, the SmackDown after, a little bit of the NXT after. We are all WWE this week, no AEW. And it's a lot to talk about. It's a lot on the plate. It's a lot of returns. It's a lot of changes, a lot of shifts in the system, in the culture, in the dynamics. The story's the storying, and I feel away. So we're gonna get to, I guess, what's easiest to get out of the way. But let's hit them with a hard one first. Let's talk about Heyman and what could potentially be the Heyman family. So towards the end of Raw, we get this alliance. We already saw Seth with Paul. What we didn't know was that they had a third man that ended up being Braun Breaker, fresh off the IC title run. Now with Paul Heyman, they said it was lackluster. They said he was falling off, but now here he is next to Paul Heyman. And yeah, I don't know. People are thinking this is a Heyman family. What do you think?
I'm thinking Paul Heyman knows how to survive and he knows how to thrive. What did he do? Piggybacking off of getting Seth, he goes and he gets himself some artillery, some muscle, goes and gets himself a dog with Braun Breaker. And I'm going to be completely honest with you here. Not to sound like a broken record of what the internet people are saying, but it's kind of giving me evolution. It's kind of giving me evolution in a way. You know, we got the Flair of the group, we got the Hunter of the group, we got the Batista. I think we need to add us a Randy, man. I'm very interested to see where this goes because Paul Heyman never misses. And he almost never has a bad Heyman guy or group of guys.
So I have to ask you this then before we move on. Who is your Randy Orton? Who's your pick? Who's your guy? Who to you is the Randy Orton of right now? The young Randy Orton of right now. We just saw Randy Orton. We'll get to more Randy Orton later, but we just saw Randy Orton flesh off the debut tights for WrestleMania. Very good look. Very good look. Love the colors. Randy never wears colors. Love it. But yeah, who's your Randy? I saw a lot of different picks out there.
And this is tough because, you know, you can't replicate a Randy. I'm gonna steer away from the Austin Theory because everyone seems to be saying Austin Theory, it would be a perfect pick, and he would be a perfect pick. I'm going to go a little outside the box here. I'm going to say Carmelo Hayes.
Why do you do this to me? Why do you do this to me? Here I am thinking I have a unique pick. And here you are saying the same thing I was going to say. It's to me, the best pick would be Carmelo Hayes. He's got all the talent in the world. He's already proved that he can do this on the biggest stage. He's the one that helped Cody prepare for even coming back. I mean, he's got all the pieces, man. He's got all the pieces to be a star. And they got him with The Miz right now, but let's be honest, like, we know this is a thing to do until we find what to do, you know? But they gave you that Andre trophy because they wanted to double down on the fact that you're still their guy, you know? And I think to really triple down on that, to put him with the consigliere and have him be the Randy Orton of Paul Heyman's evolution. I mean, the trajectory is, yeah, it's
It's
insane.
there.
It's insane. That learning tree, give him a year.
Mm-hmm.
Give him a year under that learning tree. Crazy.
Beautiful.
Moving on to things that are a little more heartbreaking. Chelsea Green. I won't say heartbreaking. I should. Bittersweet is the word because Chelsea Green, our first longest reigning United States Women's Champion, lost the United States Championship and thus resigned from WWE in a very cryptic goodbye to Zelina Vega, who, very happy for Zelina Vega, felt like a double scoop of ice cream kind of night for her, and we'll get to that later. But it is bittersweet because it was great for Chelsea Green to have the United States Championship. So her losing it after just getting another person's Secret Service that made it feel like it was really going to have a little more legs,
Mm-hmm.
and then to cryptically seeming like she's taking time away, it kind of sucks. But we have been waiting for Zelina to get some gold for a while.
We
So
have.
we do have to take in that. And I think this sacrifice was Dakota Kai not becoming IC champion for Zelina Vega to become IC champion. I mean, United States champion. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we can only get so much. You know, you win some, you lose some. And I think one of them needed a break. And if it wasn't going to be one, it was going to be the other.
You know,
Um, yeah.
I'm there with you on it. I will say this. Happy for Zelina Vega. Finally glad she got to, get some gold around her waist. Ma'am, you have a heavy task ahead of you
Mm.
because you got some big shoes to fill after this first run.
I
You got
hadn't
some
thought
big
about
shoes
that.
to fill.
I hadn't thought about that. You
Yeah.
make a great point. There's some big shoes to fill. Yeah, Chelsea Green did a fantastic job as United States champion. Much better than Lyra Valkyria is doing as the IC champion. Much more legs. The first Chelsea Green run. Everyone will
Mm-hmm.
remember that. Um, yeah, yeah. Dang, you present a great task. Zelina Vega does, but and she's on her own. But I think this is a great chance for her to be, at the very least, what Carmella was for SmackDown Live.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Which she wasn't the most technical wrestler, but she was able to be champ twice, and us feel like it was like, yeah, that makes
Entertaining.
sense. Yeah, it's entertaining. It makes sense. I can see why this is happening. Um, so I think at the very least she has the potential to be that. Um, but hopefully it goes beyond that. Another thing I want to get to, the real thing is Gunther, but I will say this small note on Raw that I noticed that had the celebration for Jay. It wasn't a big thing, so we're not going to talk about it. But I did notice everyone was out there, but Roman, and Roman was there. Someone pointed that out. It is very
Interesting.
interesting. But the real point here is Gunther choked out Pat McAfee, and this is SummerSlam and written all over it. Chokes out Pat for standing up for Michael Cole after Michael Cole really was saying, see, Michael Cole was gangster, but he really should have kept his mouth shut here. So
Mm-hmm. It's like that old Kenny Rogers song. You got to know when to hold up, know when to fold up, know when to walk away. Michael, you should have just walked away.
you should have walked away, man. You should shut up. You should shut up, man. I mean, Jesus, even you was right under JR. I'm stuttering a lot. You was right under JR. I mean, you talking about a man that got burned for trying to stand up. You know what I mean? For just being there, really. Like
Hmm.
you really gotta know when to shut up, man. I mean, I love you. You know, you got some grande cajones for standing on business there, but you got your man choked out.
Yeah.
Let's be real about it. Pat stood up for Michael Cole and got choked out for it. And some of Pat's team
Yeah. Kudos to the
jumped
team.
the kudos to the team. They really some riders because I don't know if they knew that choke out was coming. They
Hmm.
jumped that barricade like they didn't know what was real. and it made it look real, and I applaud them for that.
I tell you what, though, you could tell, and not to make fun of his team or anything, you could tell that the athlete on the team was not there. Had AJ Hawk been there, AJ Hawk would have ran through everybody.
Mm-mm.
Get that Pro Bowl linebacker in there. He's running
You,
through all that
you
security.
saying you saying that was the B team? You saying
No, that was his A team. They were just missing a star player.
they was missing
They
some
was
key
missing
muscle.
that old pro linebacker they got.
Does this make you excited for SummerSlam? Does this do it for you?
Um,
Does this make you excited for Gunther Pat at SummerSlam?
Honestly, no. It's funny to see Pat get choked out by Gunther because I know he's only just gonna come back and kick the hell out of Gunther.
Mm.
Um, but honestly, no, and not really excited for SummerSlam. Just more excited for what Gunther's got planned, like what they have, not what Gunther has planned, what they have planned for Gunther going forward.
Hmm.
How he gets back to being Gunther. I
Hmm.
feel like this is going to be that first step. So
Oh, this is his return of villain arc.
yeah, because they're not going to have him job out to Pat McAfee. There is no way in the high hell that he loses to Pat McAfee. Love Pat, easy squash, and then
Mm.
on to the next to reclaim what's his.
Okay. Yeah, I wonder what they're gonna do. I wonder what they're gonna do. They started with suspending him,
Hmm.
and Pat's gonna be off the show, so they're definitely taking it a couple months from now, which is gonna be SummerSlam.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wonder what they're gonna have to do because they still really haven't even gotten Ludwig Kaiser up to date, really.
Mm-mm.
So it's gonna be a rebuild for the both of them. Maybe this is where they reconnect
Hmm.
because now they both kind of are rock bottom here.
Yeah.
They've got nothing. They've got nothing. Um, from some people that are having nothing, getting choked out, to some people that are coming back to life and achieving new heights. We got the returns and the debuts. Uh, the Roxanne Perez's, the Julias. I don't know if they're officially a main roster, but they definitely made a
Appearance.
statement appearance, which feels like a debut. Fraxium debuted. Nia Jax has returned. I want to give a shout out to Noam Dar of Metaphor. Finally came back. They said it was 11 months, I think.
It's been a
Like
hot minute.
long time for my guy. And
Yes.
shout out to Lash Legend and Jakar Jackson for really holding down Metaphor there. Even Oro Mensa was doing his thing when they let him. They was really holding it down. I know Amdar was away because he was carrying all the weight of that up to that point, and then he had left it to the rest of the team, and they really held it down. So hopefully, the four of them really get back together and are a force this year. Shout out to Noam Dar immediately winning back the Heritage Cup, which I thought was hilarious. Rusev debuts. It's Rusev Day. How are we feeling about Rusev Day? And then we go from Rusev to probably the biggest return, most anticipated, definitely.
Yeah.
Alistair Black, which I said is the double scoop for Zelina Vega. Alistair Black returns, in a Miz segment of all things. Comes knocks out the Miz, but huge pop. Let's talk about the entrance. We keep the entrance, we keep the song. Like, how did it feel to you?
It felt amazing. I am so glad that we did not change a single thing with Alistair. Like when it came to Rusev, we didn't change the name, but we changed the music and we changed the gear. When it came to Alistair, don't touch it, let it be. That is a
Mm.
Triple H product. Triple H products rarely miss, and that showed when Alistair Black returned. Love that he kept the same song. Love that he kept the same entrance. It was amazing. And believe it or not, I think the Miz was the right person for him to come out and make his return on because Miz is kind of became like a measuring stick, even though
Mm.
Alistair doesn't need a measuring stick. But Miz has kind of become that guy where it's like, all right, if you can work with him and you can do something with him, you could do it with anyone. So let's make this transition for Alistair as comfortable and as seamless as possible. Miz was the right choice, and I don't have any complaints on it.
Do you think this creates a natural divide for Miz and Carmelo? With Miz getting involved in his Carmelo winning the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, do you think they now can kind of clean split from here?
I wouldn't say a clean split, but it's definitely going to be a bit of a wedge or a divide there. It's not
Mm.
going to be like sever it completely. It's going to be just like the wedges there, kind of like when Miz was with um the Final Testament.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's not completely separated, but the wedge is there, and he's going to somewhat be there. That's kind of what I think it'll be like.
And I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on to some of the big things. I gotta kick their back in for Becky and Lyra. I gotta kick some backs in for Becky and Lyra. I mean, there's word on the street that Triple H kind of sold out this WrestleMania card for the ads, for the product, for the money, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Uh he did it for the bag, as they say. And one of the suffering thing, two of the things we're gonna talk about is the things that suffered from that. But I think this thing to me irks me the most because it just feels so unnecessary.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, they gave us a match with the Intercontinental Champion that was not for the Intercontinental title, but instead was a tag match for the Women's Tag Team Championships, which is a division she's never been a part of, with a partner that didn't make any sense because she had just fought her for the title, just fought the woman that was at last WrestleMania. Um, and now they're tagging together because they won a tournament that was made up of whoever.
Mm-hmm.
Totally passed over the tag teams that had been there trying to get over for Bailey and Lyra, who ended up not even being Bailey and Lyra because you used it as an opportunity to bring Becky Lynch back, which you can clearly tell from whatever interview Bailey had with Chris Van Vliet, because it kind of sounded like she already knew she was getting off the card.
Mm-hmm.
So we have this at WrestleMania, and you have them win the titles at WrestleMania to lose the titles on Monday Night Raw for Becky to turn on Lyra. Tell me why, in your booking mind, did you not think to yourself, okay, what if, even if we was going to do that, even if we was going to do that, Becky get laid out, you got a surprise partner. That surprise partner being Becky Lynch and y'all losing and then Becky turning on you, seems like a Monday Night Raw segment. However, Chelsea Green, the United States Women's Champion, who's been on the better championship run, losing her title to Zelina Vega, the underdog that people have been waiting years to see get some gold, is a WrestleMania level match that we get to have on SmackDown because of what? The bag? I'm confused here. I didn't need this. This was unnecessary. The only silver lining I see for this is that Lyra gets to be a person finally. I guess we get to hear her talk and have emotions and feel ways about things. You get to have character now. But I don't like this. I don't like this being a WrestleMania thing. It's very unnecessary. All very unnecessary.
There was 0 cents, in my humble opinion, as to why this match happened at WrestleMania, and there was even less sense as to why what happened on Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania happened. You could have gotten to this point without using the tag team titles, without neglecting the Intercontinental title, without neglecting the U.S. title, without neglecting Bayley. You managed to, I don't even know the word for four. You managed to 4 times screw up different things. Like, you didn't even hit the trifecta of fuck ups. You hit the quadfecta of fuck ups. It was, you could have gotten here without using any of that. You could have just had the match as it was and had the tag team champions retain. And then the next night on Raw, have Lyra be like, we didn't get it done, but I'm still the Intercontinental Champion. I'm going to defend this against anybody, anytime, whoever, wherever. Nobody scares me, blah, blah, blah. Then the music hits and Becky comes out. Getting the return of Becky at Raw after Mania probably would have been even better than getting the Becky return at Mania.
Absolutely.
So I don't understand why they did it the way they did it. It's kind of confusing.
Weird.
And the person I feel bad for the most, honestly, Bayley. I do feel bad for Bayley because no matter which way you slice it, she took a back seat joining a tag team she did not need to join just to get a match at WrestleMania, only to have them say, hey, you don't have a match at WrestleMania anymore. Like,
in fact, you don't have anything.
I did you this solid, and this is how you repay me. If I'm Bayley, I'm taking sour grapes all day.
If I'm Bayley and I meant everything I said in that Chris Van Vliet interview, and I'm Triple H,
Mercedes Moné might not be looking too crazy right now.
I'd be talking to creative. Yeah. I'd be reworking some things with creative.
Yes, the Mercedes Moné dynamic might not be too crazy right now.
Yeah, it's starting to make sense over there. Moving on to another thing, and I won't give it too much time because I want to leave time for the main thing. But another thing that got under my skin was I called this months in advance. I said to myself, I said to you, I said on air, I said, we're getting the TLC. There's too many good tag teams coming. There's too many great tag teams on SmackDown. Let me be very specific. On SmackDown, the tag team roster is chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. They're not missing right now. They're putting and the tag team division is deep. The Guns, DIY, Street Profits, Legado del Fantasma is actually really good when they give them a chance. Pretty Deadly's always been great. UK tag champions. So, and they're all very entertaining as well. So it really hurts me that I called them being so good they were going to have to put multiple tag teams in a match And at WrestleMania season, the only match to put them in is a ladder match.
Mm-hmm.
And they do TLC, but they do it on SmackDown. And instead have I don't want to even say a gimmicky, but definitely this was an ad match with the New Day winning the tag titles. And I don't have a problem with New Day winning the tag titles at WrestleMania, but we should have the better match at WrestleMania. Like, it shouldn't be the bag. WrestleMania is not the night for the, I mean, it is the night for the bag, but it's not the night for the bag. Like, and I feel like a lot of people felt that way, and it resulted in a banger legendary TLC match that I think could be a rebirth of TLC if they do it right. They got enough guys to do it. Just tell me your thoughts.
The TLC match on SmackDown was the better TLC tag match that I've seen recently. I would put it up there with the TLC match from last year's Mania.
Mm-hmm.
That it's one of the better ones. This tag team match on Friday Night SmackDown was better than 3/4 of the matches on this year's WrestleMania card, possibly more. Why it didn't happen at Mania, again, I don't know, but we can get this tag team match for the women's titles that we didn't need. We can get the New Day tag title match, which absolutely sucked in my opinion. We can get we got the Rey Mysterio cancellation match between Grande Americano and
Mm-hmm.
Phoenix. You mean to tell me we couldn't fit a 15-minute TLC ladder match somewhere in there?
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't just take out the whole New Day match and shave 3 minutes off of the first match or the third match of whatever night it was on, night one, I think. We
Yeah,
couldn't
night one.
we couldn't shave 3 minutes off of the first match or the third match and then just axe the whole New Day and Viking Raiders. It made zero sense to me. I don't get it. I don't like it. It left a sour taste in my mouth. Thank you. Next, in the words of Ariana Grande.
Mm. And then I'll leave the last one to you, Randy and John. We get Randy John Monday night. Randy RKO's John Cena. After he explains his gimmick on how he's ruining wrestling, I do want to say before I give it to you, I do love the gimmick of John counting down the dates. It really does add a level of intenseness to his appearances. You already have under 30. Your days are numbered. My days to get out of here are numbered. I'm trying to leave, and you have to chase me to get this title off of me before I'm out the door. I do love that, but I'm going to leave the rest of you.
I love it too. I dig the whole countdown thing. It's beautiful. It's very, very Hollywood villain-y.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like something Dr. Doofenshmirtz would do from Phineas and Ferb. I'm gonna keep sneaking Disney references in when I can.
I feel it.
But yeah, man, it feels like it feels like a good thing. And then now we know obviously what John's first feud, fresh out of WrestleMania, is gonna be, and it's Randy Orton.
Mm.
And I should be really ecstatic about it. The key word there is should, but I mean, I'm like 60% of the way ecstatic.
Mm.
And the only reason it's above 50 is because it's Randy and John. And, you know, it's probably the last feud that they're going to have. But it's too early, if that makes sense, considering the fact that John's only got 20 some odd appearances left. And we have months until SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of wanted to see John and Randy at a SummerSlam because that's where like their best battles have happened.
Mm.
The best battles, I think the best match they've ever had is the match at SummerSlam where I think it was John tore his rotator cuff taking the RKO on the chair.
Yeah, it might
I
have
think
been.
Where they kept like doing each other's finishers and reversing each other's finishers over and over and over. I think that was like the best match they've ever had. And the crazy thing is, it's SummerSlam is going to be in the same place where that exact match took place.
Oh
So it
man,
would
I
have
didn't think
kind of,
about that.
it kind of would have been like a poetic justice thing to have them finish off their rivalry at a SummerSlam.
Yeah, I feel
Whether
that.
whether John won or Randy won, I don't care. Probably John because it's the countdown to the end. But I feel like SummerSlam would have been the better choice to start this or end it. And Backlash is like, yeah, sure, it's Randy's hometown, but we know what happens to people when they wrestle for big things in their hometown.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
that's where I'm at with it. Where are you at with it?
I feel the exact same way you feel. I think it's going to be great for the both of them. But I felt like it should have been more towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
But with that being said, we're out of time. Guys, you ran into a cheap plug. Hit the link at the bottom. Like, comment, subscribe wherever you're listening to this. If you're on Spotify, we're on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, we're on all listening platforms. I've been Stevie Jobber.
I've been Dangerous Duke.
And this has been the Dangerous Jobbers podcast. Please stay up, stay blessed, and Duke as always.
Stay dangerous.
Oh yeah.
People have been asking me to be the best in the world. Why, Eddie? Why?